Hello, welcome. Patch 1.12.12 just dropped, and they updated the Anschluss requirements. I made a little video on the original requirements. You can see the original requirements have more than 0% of your fielded infantry equipment in stockpile. That was super easy to defeat though, because you could just restrict equipment usage, just don't allow them to use any equipment, and you just bypassed it, right? So they added this other requirement instead, 40,000 infantry equipment in your army. And this is supposed to stop you from rushing Anschluss. It doesn't though. So let's look at the starting German army. We have 25,000 infantry equipment. We have nothing in stockpile. If we pull up our trusty calculator, we can tell that we need 15,000 infantry equipment. So if we want to do it third focus, that means we need to be able to produce 15,000 infantry equipment in 150 days, which means we need to produce 100 a day. That is not hard. That is literally just 20 factories. You can basically produce all your basic stuff that never goes out of date, your anti-air, your trains, your support equipment. You can get 1 or 2 on those because Germany starts with 28 factories. Something like this. I'm not being particularly particular. 150 days. We do this and then we swap to something else. And it's that simple. I'll show you. So we can do this third or fourth focus depending on what you want to do. You can't do it second. Well, I mean, mathematically you can do it second, but I don't think you can get the divisions out required into. You can do it third or maybe even fourth if you want to go for the medium tank chassis first. I'm going to do it third. It's still the same plan. You need 5 army experience and that's it. Except for with this new system, you don't even need to delete your starting army. Before, it made sense to delete your starting army, but since you're going to produce so much infantry equipment to get to that point, you don't need the infantry equipment to spam out divisions. So you're actually not even losing all of this experience because of the new change. We finish Rhineland, we're going to do another focus. We're going to use our army experience to create a new template that's just 1 cav. Why 1 cav? Because this is going to be your garrison template, so it's not wasted, right? We're just going to train 100 of these. Don't worry about the equipment, it's fine. You're producing a ton. And then you're just going to force deploy these. And then once you force deployed them, switch them to your largest division. No need to restrict equipment or anything. Spread them out for supply purposes. And then once they've reinforced, we'll be able to do the next focus. We'll be able to Anschluss. So I've deployed all the divisions, I've converted their templates, and at this point I'm really just waiting for us to hit 40k. Army Innovations has finished, but remember I did the math for 150 days. You can hold focus for 10 days without losing any. So we're just going to hold focus, and now we can Anschluss third focus. And we were already Anschlussing third focus. So it's just I don't get the requirement. Sure, we had to produce a ton of infantry equipment, and at this point we can just gut our infantry equipment production, reallocate it somewhere else. And yeah, you're suffering a little bit from loss of production efficiency, but it's not that big of a deal. You're still getting all of Austria. If you tag over at Austria, they have 11 owned civs and they have 3 mills. That's 13 factories. 1 focus, 13 factories. And by the time we're done that, they'd actually have another because of the focuses they've selected. Plus you get all of their equipment. So it's just I don't get what they're doing. They didn't stop an Anschluss rush. They just made you produce more infantry equipment to do it. You can do it slower. If you're doing 4 focuses into Anschluss, you really only need to put about 15 factories on it. But even just at the base production we're at right now, let's go down to 1 factory. So 1 factory is producing 5.33 a day. So if we pull back up our calculator, we need 15,000. And if we're doing it 4th focus, we have 220 days to get that. You need to produce 68 a day. We're producing 5.3. That's 13 factories, 14 to be safe. That's not a big investment. It's not like that infantry equipment's going to waste. I mean, you're going to use it for garrisons. You're going to use it for your infantry, for any line fillers. I mean, and plus at 14 factories, you still have 14 factories to produce other things. I don't know. I just don't get the change they're making. They're not doing anything meaningful with this. Normally, with just normal infantry divisions, it requires you to basically have 50,000 infantry equipment. It's just dumb. I get that they're trying not to reduce your autonomy too much, because if you're going for an artillery-only challenge, you literally can't do this focus. You have to produce infantry equipment just to Anschluss. Realistically, to be able to Anschluss in a year, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, you need to produce 41 guns a day, which at base is 7.75 factories. But you're going to get more production efficiency. You're going to get more factory output. If you just leave 5 factories on it, let's average it out. It's 545 days. Divide that by 70, that's 8 focuses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you need 5 factories on it to do it in a normal timing. So like, don't be worried about this requirement. If you want to rush it, easy, you can do it. If you don't want to rush it, 5 factories. You're going to need 5 factories on guns just for garrisons, just to fill out your front line so that the AI can't walk past you. So it's really not that big of a deal. It just means you can't do an artillery only challenge anymore. Anyways, that's the Anschluss Rush fix that they've decided to go with. It's completely useless. The only other big thing in this patch, Canada can go send in the zombies and National Steel Car now, which is great. I mean, they actually get the Quebec spirit, this minus 30% recruitable population factor, and they get to actually use their economy. So like Canada can like do things now. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Probably with a naval video.